Hey, yeah, good morning. It's me, Dan, again. Funny how it keeps being me, Dan, here instead of somebody else. I mean, one of these days it's going to have to be somebody else, somebody better looking and better able to comment in a more eloquent manner. But until then, I'm afraid you're stuck with me. And yeah. So, I can be wrong. That happens quite a lot, actually. I have been wrong about many things. My Christian belief in the existence and divinity of Jesus, wrong. My belief that there was and had to be a God, wrong. My belief that capitalist democracy was the very best possible answer to all of our earthly concerns, wrong. My belief that we owe the white man a debt of gratitude for teaching us to be civilized, wrong. None of these beliefs that are fed to us, spoon-fed to us in childhood, have any validity in the real world. Yeah. Gratitude for colonialism is a sickness, and colonialism is another sickness. And I do not want to talk about the most recent outbreak of violent colonialism taking place in the world. Suffice to say, the genocide being committed has been in the planning stages for decades. And just leave it at that. And the people who are cheering most loudly for this impending genocide, they all have something in common. They've all been indoctrinated to believe the lies of capitalist democracy and of the American evangelical fundamentalist movement. The denial of the humanity of indigenous peoples is nothing new. It is an integral part of what capitalist democracy rests upon. And it is also an integral part of the ideology that underlies, again, American evangelical fundamentalism. What can we do? Well, unfortunately, can't do really much of anything. My ability to pass for white does protect me in this society. People think that I'm white. I mean, yeah, it looks pretty convincing. Yeah. My ability to pass for white protects me. But for those people who cannot pass, for those people who cannot fool the democracy, they are exposed as indigenous peoples, as not white, every single day, every waking, breathing moment, and every sleeping, breathing moment. And they face the risk constantly that at some point the democracy might just decide that they need to be killed. As I said, being able to pass for white protects me. I wish that there were other people who could pass for white. I wish that there were teeming millions of people who could pass for white at this moment. The white man will do what the white man will do, and there's nothing we can do about it. Those of us who can pass will cower in our homes. Those of us who cannot pass will be slaughtered. That is democracy. I have said this before, and I will say this again. Democracy is a white man with a gun. More specifically, he's a man with a gun in one hand and a Bible in the other, walking into a brown man's house and saying, "It's amazing this empty house with nobody in it has stood just for me all these years. I think I'll just acquire my rightful territory," as he waltzes into a brown man's house while the brown man and his family are trying to eat dinner. And he sits down at the table and helps himself to everything that they were eating. And then wonders what these brown people are doing in his house. Where did they come from? I don't know where they came from. They must have invaded my home while I was having dinner peacefully. Yes. This is very much what democracy looks like. Anywhere where the white man isn't already well established. That's what democracy looks like. The white man with a gun in one hand and a Bible in the other, walking into your home, sitting down at your table, taking the food from your plate, and then wondering what all these brown people are doing here in my house. Yeah. And the reality is that while the conservatives are much more blatant about it, the liberals are no better. Liberals still believe that capitalist democracy is a good thing. And if we could just civilize the poor benighted savages, they could become just like the white man, only less intelligent, less worthy of living. That's the liberal position, as compared with the conservative position, which is that the little brown natives are subhuman vermin that need to be exterminated in order to make room for white settlers. Liberal and conservative. Not much to choose from between them if you're not white. Capitalist colonial democracy. Does anybody wonder why I'm a socialist? The idea that I don't have any value and worth as myself is kind of offensive. The idea that I should be killed to make room for a true white man is offensive. The idea that I owe a debt of gratitude to the white man for beating and raping his Christianity and his English into me is offensive. And yet, these are the things that we have to play along with in order to continue to pass for white. To pass for white. Passing for white is something that I do because I have to. Because this is the white man's world. And it has been for a long time. And it isn't the white man's world because a God said so, or because a white man was better. It's the white man's world because the white man is simply the most violent, most virulent, most brutal, and most horrifying force of aggression and conquest that the world has ever seen. The white man came. He destroyed everything. And he called this graveyard peace.